Fellow Nigerians, Christian world, federal government, and the state government of Adamawa State, all the NGOs and human rights commissions, we need you now. There's a case from Adamawa State. I just stumbled on the video this morning. Arise News I carried the matter yesterday. There's a man called Sunday Jackson from Adamawa State. He found the farm 10 years ago. Fulani herdsman escort animal enter the farm. Oga challenge Fulani herdsman, why you go carry your animals enter my farm? You know, it's that crops I plant, quarrel starts. Herdsman carry out knife. Shook the man for leg. Shook and one, shook and two. Oga fight the man back. Collect the knife from the herdsman. Shook the herdsman back. Herdsman got by. Now the court in Adamawa State is charging him for murder. 7 years after judgment, this 7 years, so during the judgment, he did prison. 7 years after judgment, the court declared that he should be sentenced to die by hanging. International body wey come Nigeria come do something else, call you of the case. Now they pick up the case. Found out that the guy's lawyer is actually a low-level lawyer who does not understand law well enough, because there are a lot of lapses in the judgment. They call appeal the case. The case called drag with Supreme Court. Yesterday, Supreme Court held that when Sunday Jackson collect the knife from the man, instead of to shoot the herdsman back, he's supposed to run. Somebody with a shook for leg supposed to run. And the Supreme Court upheld the judgment of the Adamawa Court, and Sunday Jackson is to be sentenced to die by hanging. Let me show you this.
Now, you may not have heard of him, but Sunday Jackson, a former student in his early 30s, is facing death by hanging after Nigeria's Supreme Court today upheld the judgment of a lower court in Adamawa State. Okay. Mr. Jackson was a student turned farmer who says he was violently attacked on his farm in Kodomti Forest in the Newman local government area in Adamawa State by a Fulani herdsman known as Buba Bawuro. The herdsman had strayed into Mr. Jackson's farm with his animals, and after Mr. Jackson challenged him, he apparently pulled a knife and a fight ensued. He stabbed Mr. Jackson a couple of times, but he managed to retrieve the knife and to stab his attacker in the neck, whereupon he died. Okay. Mr. Jackson was arrested and charged with murder. He's consistently argued that it was self-defense.
Of course.
In 2021, he was found guilty by a court in Yola and condemned to death by hanging. And today, the Supreme Court in Abuja upheld that judgment. So he's now in a race for his life, and the only option left is to appeal for clemency from the governor of Adamawa State. So what hope does he now have of a reprieve?
Barrister Emmanuel and I have been working for a number of years here in Nigeria on human rights issues, and this is a sad day, Charles, for human rights in Nigeria. Sunday Jackson, and I'm not a lawyer, I'm a human rights advocate. Sunday Jackson, by anyone's estimation, is totally innocent. And the issue where this man was out farming, minding his own business, and then the attacker came and a struggle ensued. And of course, this man is going to defend himself. That's why we call it self-defense. Yeah. And yet today we were at the Nigerian Supreme Court, and it was very brief. It was only about maybe 2 minutes long. And we just wept at the failure of the Nigerian Supreme Court to say that this man, and they had the opportunity to say this man was totally innocent. We haven't seen all the ins and outs of the decision, but we had the opportunity to meet this humble farmer, this young man who unfortunately his wife abandoned him, had been on death row for 10 years. So Sunday Jackson has now become an international case for human rights.
Yes,
and so we're going to continue to advocate.
I was going to ask you what are the international dimensions of this case?
Well, the international dimensions are Open Doors, which is a human rights organization, has recounted that there have been thousands of killings of Christians by Fulanis. And so as a human rights advocate and as a pastor, I'm here to advocate for this man who is totally innocent. So it has international implications. The eyes of human rights advocates are now on Nigeria. Like, how could this happen? How could this possibly happen? By anyone's estimation, as Barrister said earlier, manslaughter at least, because murder one that he's being convicted of and may face hanging if we can't get clemency for him, it has to be premeditated. So what justice on the Nigerian Supreme Court that didn't pop up and say to him or her, this is a case of self-defense and this man is totally innocent. So we encourage people to continue to pray for Sunday Jackson and his innocence.
Okay, number one, on the first case at the court in Adamawa, after they finished judgment, after they finished the case, it took the court 160 something days to deliver judgment. According to the Constitution of Nigeria, it's supposed to take a maximum of 90 days. First and foremost, there was a lapse in the judgment of that case. That's one. Secondly, our full National Assembly, where we go wrong go now, say me then look into this matter. They are there busy quarreling where Natasha supposed to sit down. And Nigerians are more interested in that one. Where Natasha go sit down. That's what the full House of Assembly is quarreling about now. People we should run to with this case. The church, we're supposed to carry this case for her. They are there busy telling people that this year is your year. It takes Oyibo to come Nigeria and fight for this man. We have Christian Association of Nigeria, we have Pentecostal Fellowship Association of Nigeria, and they are doing nothing about this matter. Now, we ourselves as Nigerians, this matter has been in the news since yesterday. How many of us share them? We are supposed to choke the governor of Adamawa State in the neck now because he's the only one that can grant pardon. Where we are sentencing the person that was attacked to death, they are busy building rehabilitation camp for Boko Haram people. So those ones will get life. Then the man who defended himself would die. And we're here watching, fellow Nigerians, everybody please. These are the videos we should be sharing. Share this. Let's call on CNN, we call on Al Jazeera, we call on Fox News, we call on the governor of Adamawa State, we call on the presidency, we call on the Attorney General of the Federation. Something has to be done about this matter because it's not fair. It's really not fair. How long will these people keep fighting us? Christians don't even fight back. We don't. And then we saw somebody that fight back, the person should go and buy because he tried to defend himself, he should run. Somebody that has been stabbed in the leg. And so Nigeria today happen to people. And Nigeria, they happen to that man now. So, but we can fight this. Please, the governor of Adamawa State, the Attorney General of the Federation, the President of the country, the Senate President, the House of Rights Speaker, everybody involved, CNN, Al Jazeera, Fox News, all the international stations should know about this. This matter should be trending. If you are not sharing this video, then you deserve Nigeria.